Welcome back to Biz Lounge. Would you have believed that a young man protesting in a towel would end up heading one of the leading mobile device companies today? Well, let's see how Shiv spent his days at IIM Calcutta and how his campus life prepared him for the future.
In 1790, there were three countries which were democratic. Unemployment is one of the biggest challenges in the last few years.
Every chance I get to come back and teach, either to the students or address any symposium or seminar, I always sign myself up for it. I've taught at many places, but this institute is always very special to me.
I remember some things we did in terms of also wanting to change things. Once, for example, there was a big water shortage on campus, and administration at that time was taking some time to respond to it. So we all got together only in our towels, no clothes, just our towels, and marched to the director's office and banging our, these pots and pans and buckets and so on, demanding more water.
This is where I used to stay in my first year. This is the badminton court where people used to play, and that's where people used to have some tea, coffee. But the interesting thing was, once a month, this would change into a movie theater, an outdoor movie theater. And there'd be a projection here, and the screen was there. And the best part was, right through the movie, if there was a good song, then everybody would say, repeat, repeat. And the song will play 10 times, 15 times, non-stop. And that was a huge challenge. The movie would never, end. The best thing about IIM Calcutta, I must say, is it treated everybody like an adult.
What really remains fresh in my mind about Shiv is respect for his elders, his respect for his faculty members, which is becoming increasingly rather rare these days, and sustainability of relationships.
In those days, we never had attendance for classes, okay? So a lot of professors gave us the complete freedom. So you would go and attend classes you really loved, etc. That adult-to-adult relationship is what has carried me right through.
Protesting in a towel back at IIM, and I wanted to get pictures, but I couldn't.
Luckily, there was no Facebook.
That's right.
There was no mobile camera, so as a result of which, none of that has been captured.
Yes,
Otherwise, a lot of guys would be blushing.
That's right. Tell us how Nokia happened for you.
It was interesting. Nokia was looking for someone who had an experience of brands, retail, and also something to do with consumer durables. If you looked at that definition of what Nokia was looking for, I think there were about 6 guys in this country who fit that bill, in a sense, if that was the strictest definition. We went through a very lengthy process. I had 11 interviews before I got selected for the job. So I think they really, sussed me out over 11 interviews. Yeah, the whole process took about 2 months. And finally, they sent me the offer saying, okay. And Bimal Rath was the HR director of Nokia here. They sent me the offer, and within 24 hours, I got a phone call at home saying, okay, what have you made up your mind? So I was absolutely surprised. I thought, okay, I'll look at the offer, think about it, talk about it, etc. And I said, oh, is the answer due immediately? They said, yeah, we'd like to know because, we want to start doing this. So then I spoke to Bimal and said, Bimal, is this the best offer on the table? He said, yes, Shiv, it's a good offer. So I said, okay, take it as the answer is yes, close. That's it.
Wow.
That's how it
That's great.
Because I've never worked.
No negotiating, no nothing, huh?
Absolutely. That's an important point. Right through my career, there are 2 things I've never known. The first one is I've never known what my salary is. I've never worked for money. So I get a little surprised when people put money up front. For me, if you're good, money will come. Okay. But if you have money, you need not necessarily be good. That's the first one. The second one I've never known in any office I've worked, right through my career, is what are the office timings. They've never mattered to me. Okay. Again, if you're conscious, if you're doing the right thing for the company, you don't need to watch the clock. You don't need to worry.
What would you say are some of the tough decisions you have to make in your present position?
For any leader, some of the toughest decisions involve people. Okay. Which people to keep on the bus, who are the right guys, who have the right attitude, who can contribute, etc. And who are the guys who cannot make it in the long terms. And when you're talking about people, always there is a tendency, I would think, that you tend to favor people, or most people tend to favor people whom they get along with or who are images of themselves. I would never do that. For me, it's always important to get guys who have a contrarian point of view and are willing to speak their mind. Okay, that's when you don't need to watch your back. Very few people make that distinction. Okay, the more people are able to stand up to you, the less you need to watch your back. The more people agree with you, the more you need to watch whether what they're saying is actually the truth or not.
While we were at IIM, you spoke about one of the bigger challenges that leaders face today. Let's take a look.
We have a lot of people coming out of colleges and schools and looking for jobs. We have a lot of jobs going for them. But the challenge is that not many people are staying in jobs. People are changing jobs every 2 years because they all want to build assets very, very quickly. And because of the easy loans which are available, they're taking a lot of loan on themselves, or taking a lot of debt. So if you look at the average young person today, he's got at least 25 to 50% of his take-home salary linked up in EMI. Okay. So what does he do? He wants to reduce that to about 15-20%. So he keeps hopping jobs for the next 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees per month. That's what he does. In this process, he has neither tasted success nor failure in his first 6-8 years. And hence, it will be a big challenge for him to become an effective middle manager. So when we don't have good enough middle managers, then senior managers start doing a job one level below them. And that's the next challenge. So I think we have a peculiar problem which is surfacing. The only answer for companies and for leaders is to ensure that we invest very strongly in our people repeatedly. Whether they stay for 2 months or 2 years is not the issue.
Can you talk a little bit about how leaders are to overcome that here? What are they supposed to do? How do they get over that hurdle?
At a first level, any economy which grows at more than 5% will have this problem. Okay, absolutely not. Any economy. Because if a significant economy of, let's take, a trillion is growing at more than 5-6%, new industries are opening up. The challenge is multifold when you have this attrition. On an average, we are seeing double-digit attrition in this country today. In some sectors, like the BPO sector and retail sector, I'm told, it's 50, 40, 60%. Which means every year or year and a half, the whole company is changing. So what can we do? When employees come into an organization, they're very, very clear. They are not looking at a 10-year career or a 20-year career with that company. Very few guys are. Those days are over. Today, people are saying, I will spend 2-3 years. Let me see what value I can get from this company. So you need to treat them with that maturity, that adult-to-adult maturity. The second, which I've heard a lot of CEOs say, and I worry about it, it's a dangerous one, when people say, maybe we don't need to hire the best guys. Let's hire average guys so that they will stay longer.
Are you on Facebook or LinkedIn? I couldn't find you.
I don't do that for a specific reason, an important reason. I don't want to put anybody, any of the people who work for Nokia or the system at risk ever with any comment. Okay, so I think it's important that my people have peace of mind that they don't need to worry about any comments or anything. I say, look at all the trouble that a lot of people in India have got into on Twitter and all that. That's not worth it.
And before we take a break, we leave you with one of Shiv Kumar's greatest fears and how he approaches it.
My dad's no more. He was with the government of India, and he passed away in an air accident. So I'm a nervous flyer. That's something which I always tell people. So after 93, after he passed away, I'm a very nervous flyer. So I know almost everything there is about a plane and what happens. When the plane is going through turbulence, what happens. I watch for all the signals, and I can tell you what the pilot will do next.